Have you ever experienced betrayal? Have you ever had someone close to you break your trust? The pain of betrayal cuts deep, leaving wounds that take time to heal. Jesus knows that pain. He faced it on the night of Jesus' arrest, betrayed by one of his own disciples. Yet what makes this moment even more powerful is Jesus' response, not with anger or retaliation, but with obedience and surrender to God's plan. The arrest of Jesus is not just a historical event. It is a defining moment in the story of salvation. It teaches us about human failure and divine love, about the pain of betrayal and the power of obedience. So today, let's take a journey back to that fateful night. Let's step into the Garden of Gethsemane and witness Jesus' arrest, an event that changed everything. Then Jesus went with his disciples to a place called Gethsemane, and he said to them, "Sit here while I go over there and pray," according to Matthew 26:36. Picture this: a quiet garden under the stars, olive trees casting shadows in the moonlight. The air is cool yet heavy with sorrow. Jesus kneels in deep prayer, overwhelmed by what lies ahead. Sweat drips from his forehead like drops of blood. He knows that soon Jesus will be arrested, mocked, beaten, and crucified. Yet he prays, "My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will," according to Matthew 26:39. Then suddenly, footsteps. The flickering glow of torches moves through the trees. A crowd approaches, armed with swords and clubs. Roman soldiers and temple guards, led by none other than Judas Iscariot. Judas steps forward and greets Jesus. Then, with a kiss on his cheek, he delivers the ultimate betrayal. Now the betrayer had arranged a signal with them. "The one I kiss is the man. Arrest him." Going at once to Jesus, Judas said, "Greetings, Rabbi," and kissed him, according to Matthew 26:48-49. And in that moment, Jesus' arrest begins. What can we learn from this heartbreaking yet powerful moment? There are two key themes in this story: the pain of betrayal and the virtue of obedience. 1. The pain of betrayal. Betrayal hurts the most when it comes from those we trust. Jesus' arrest was set in motion by someone from his inner circle, Judas. He had walked with Jesus, learned from him, shared meals with him, and yet, for 30 pieces of silver, he handed him over to his enemies. So, what can we learn from Judas' betrayal and Jesus' arrest? Even those closest to us can fail us. No matter how much we trust someone, humans are fallible. If you've ever been hurt by a friend or loved one, know that Jesus understands your pain. Guard your own heart. It's easy to point fingers at Judas, but are there ways we also betray Jesus? Do we compromise our faith for worldly gain? Do we stay silent when we should stand for truth? Forgiveness over resentment. Jesus' arrest didn't lead him to hate Judas. Even in betrayal, he called him friend. This is a reminder that we are called to forgive, even when forgiveness is hard. 2. The power of obedience. While Judas represents betrayal, Jesus' arrest represents obedience. He knew suffering was coming, yet he surrendered to God's plan. What does Jesus' obedience during his arrest teach us? Trust God's plan, even in hardship. Jesus knew the cross was ahead, yet he trusted that God's purpose was greater. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent, so he did not open his mouth, according to Isaiah 53, verse 7. Likewise, when we face trials, we must trust that God is working for our good. Strength comes from obedience. Jesus did not resist his arrest because he had already surrendered in prayer. "Put your sword back in its place," Jesus said to him, "for all who draw the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I cannot call on my Father, and he will at once put at my disposal more than 12 legions of angels?" According to Matthew 26:52-53. When we commit to obeying God, he gives us peace and strength. God can turn pain into purpose. Jesus' arrest seemed like a tragedy, but it led to victory over sin. In the same way, God can use even our hardest moments for a greater purpose. Now is the time to reflect. Where is God calling you to trust him more? Are you holding on to past betrayals, unwilling to forgive? Are you struggling to obey his will in your life? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. According to Proverbs 3:5-6. Jesus' arrest shows us that obedience leads to victory. Even when it's painful, even when it's hard, trusting God always leads to something greater. How can we take these truths and live them out? Examine your heart. Are there areas where you have been unfaithful to God? Pray and ask him to reveal them to you. Choose obedience. Make a decision today to follow God's will, even when it's difficult. Trust in trials. If you are going through a difficult season, surrender it to God. Pray, Lord, I don't understand, but I trust you. Stay strong, remain faithful to God, and remember, even in the darkest moments, his love and plan shine through. If this message has blessed you, take a moment to share it with others. Like, comment, and subscribe to Jesus' Way of Salvation to continue spreading the message of faith and hope. God bless you.